consciously eating.
Better because
I'm ready. Go.
That was not something I'll be quiet so they can focus on.
So if you want to hold the card drop, you build the advanced workshop, not a third base, right?
Correct. I mean, that
Okay.
third base before advanced workshop is like, I've done that against Avocado Lord when he does his Dragon Rush, but that's a very specific circumstance. Like 99% of the time, yeah, you get the advanced workshop first.
Wait, dude, maybe this is greed, but I think you can go third base first if you're playing on racks and you go with like 4 archers. Or at least start.
Depends on what the third base location is, and you have to almost be inside of your opponent's head. Like,
you have to be watching the minimap for the airship drop, and he can
and
drop.
you have to.
The catapults can shoot out of vision.
Yeah, but I mean, like, you don't have to mine from your third base, but if it's constructing workers and stuff, you're gonna be ahead if you just go for a third base, and then you start the advanced workshop like 140 gold afterwards. You're chilling, man.
The problem there is that the timing, so I wouldn't recommend people try that if they're just trying to defend Katas for the first or 10th time, because the timing window on that, it's very precise. I mean, that's, against Avocado Lord, for instance, when he does his 2-base instant dragons, I do get the third and then get, from there, get the advanced workshop immediately. But that's me saying I know exactly what you're doing. And I'll be fine after this.
Maybe it's an issue of the zoom level. If you check Nigat's, I posted Nigat's beginner level guide in our Discord, which I'm hoping Holy watched. And if he watched that, then he would check his zoom levels, I think. But maybe he'll tell me afterwards.
Yeah, I actually watched it that time, so it was pretty significant, I think.
As you wish, sire.
Archers are also the worst unit in the game to mass. I will die on this hill.
Whoa. Yeah, you really have to die on this, mate.
Yeah. Listen, just because you make videos showing what happens when A-move armies interact with one another doesn't mean that...
No.
Here's the thing, consciously. I do want 50 archers. I even want 20 archers. You know what I don't want? Archer number 7. Archer number 11. Archer number... I want archer number 20, but I don't want archer number 3. You get what I'm saying?
I get it.
Process of massing them makes you so passive and requires you to be like, your brain just has to be megalamind, and even then there are restrictions on where you can go and what you can do when you're massing archers.
I think a group of maybe 10 to 12 is a good amount.
I stand ready. Yes.
I think if you get 5 across the map, they 2-shot workers.
Yeah, I think 5 to 7 is the magic numbers. But more than that is really committed. And like one catapult is ruining your day.
Yeah, I mean, the problem for me is, like, I like 5 and then going into soldiers, because that helps, I like 2 raiders into 5 archers, then into soldiers. That feels really good. I agree with 5 to 7 seems about right. 12 is the anti-number, right? If you ever are like, I have 12 archers, mate, you would rather have, like, that supply in any other unit.
Wait, against Beasts, I think it's so good, man. Like, if you got, like, 20 archers and then you just got, like, maybe, like, 6 or 7 soldiers.
Yeah, but that's a very specific case. And your opponent, if your opponent has, like, 1 catapult or a few snakes, it changes the whole dynamic.
I also am a big... I think the area of Archer Mage with slow fields, not Fireball, like focusing on the mages as the utility mage instead of damage.
Yeah.
I actually think Archer Mage is very underrated.
Yeah, and then
it's a very underexplored area against Beast. But who wants to explore it? Because was a requirement. Like, you lose so many games to bad positioning, not looking at your mini-map for 1 second, you know.
The problem with Archer Mage, because I do it all the time, the problem with Archer Mage, especially against Consciously, is that he keeps building towers, and Archer Mage is a really hard time against,
Yes,
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
That's
sorry.
in general, baby.
Yeah.
This is why JN and our matchup has changed. Because he does Archer Mage at a pretty good level, and he does it with a lot of attack and armor upgrades.
Yeah, actually, I have this idea with the towers everywhere from Tano. He just told me, like, when there are mages, get towers. Like, that's the whole thing. So, yeah.
Sounds. I mean, I'm full of them, right? Make a bird. If you're Rax, make a bird with your third. If you see mages, build towers. And
Yeah.
you're like, no, that doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then you're like, holy
But it
shit,
does.
actually, it's so fucking good. This fireball doesn't want to be used on towers. They have small surface area, lots of hit points. You know, it's not very mana efficient to use your mana on towers. And then mages are just bad archers otherwise. And archers don't really Shrek towers either. Like,
just can kill
they
towers.
do
I
until
think
there's one
there's a catapult.
behind the towers. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If there's 3 towers, 2 catapults, and 2 soldiers, could probably block. That could probably hold off like 15 units of Archer Mage.
As you wish, sir.
I don't
Probably
think so.
20.
We'll
Like,
make a scenario and I'll beat that with 15 meters, I think.
At once, sir.
Maybe.
the problem, the problem, Sly, is it doesn't matter if they. I still contest that they would, but let's say I'm wrong and they don't actually just straight up win the fight. The only way
It's
the Archer
very-
Mage wins that fight is by focusing a lot of micro attention on that fight
It's
and
APM
spending
sensitive.
almost all of their mana to take out the towers and the catapults and dodge catapult shots. And while you're focusing all of your APM on dodging cata shots, fireballing, not letting stuff get in range, like sieging out the towers, okay, I just moved the new cycle of soldier
As you wish, sir.
catapult that I've made over to that location, and now you have no mana and half of your standing army.
I'll play against Dion. 1+1.
Yes. As you wish, sir.
Please don't die to another cata drop.
As you wish, sir. Yes, as you wish.
I swear it's Holy's biggest
As you
weakness.
wish, sire.
No, Holy is using the catapult.
As you wish, sire. At once, sir.
Oh my gosh, consciously. You didn't put a house on the hill? You didn't put the house in the cubby? Dangerous.
As you wish, sir. At once, sir.
Yeah, Holy, this is looking much better for you. Hell
As
yeah.
you wish, sir.
Also, you can tell that he's supply blocked.
As you
How
wish,
can you
sire.
tell that, like, spectating?
You can watch a building and then count the time that you've been sitting there with catapults. And if it has the activity on it, that shows that it's been building. But it hasn't actually made anything in the time that it should. For the build
Is
time
that the
of the unit.
barracks? I didn't think barracks had a thing, but I can see
It
the
does.
windows.
It has
blinking.
it has a small window light to the left and right of the
Yeah.
equidistant of the door, and it glows yellow.
As you wish, sir.
So you can
Okay.
see if your opponent is catapult dropped, or if your opponent is supply blocked. And trust me, you know your opponent's
Ooh,
supply blocked.
Look at this. The Zeppelin is at 0 HP. The 0 HP and it's still alive.
Girl.
But now the archer
Yes.
comes.
Honestly hacking.
Unlucky.
It's a fraction of health. You
Yeah,
must
yeah,
have
yeah.
repaired it, and then it healed a fraction of health.
I just like this bug.
Wait, is health not done in integers? It's done in...
It's done in float.
As you wish, sire.
That's
Oh.
how HP regeneration works. It doesn't add it discreetly. It adds it.
Which is a very weird way, but
As you
what
wish.
you gonna do, JBS?
It was made by a guy who has Eminem German English raps. He has comments in the code. I don't like.
No, you're not
Also,
even
one
kidding.
guy made
Dude,
this,
he's
which is
crazy,
fucking-
by the way. I don't know if you looked through the code base.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yes. I was probably the person who had it first among the people here. Like, yeah, shit is it's kind of wild. I'll be honest. Also, towers
Is it
are really
working like
useful against
/%
catapults. Yeah, catapults are really useful, and I think it is, by the way, in set percent. Towers are useful against catapult drops, but not in the way you think. Catapult drops are really a matter of time. They do damage very quickly, and so if you put a tower just like around the airspace of your mineral line, not in your mineral line, but in the airspace of your mineral line, like the airspace surrounding it, towers can zone airships for a very, very long time. Oh, but maybe they can slow move the caddis. Again, anything that buys you time.
I think you need to add some upgrades right now.
Yes.
Which player do you think needs upgrades?
Well, that's about the timing. No?
As you wish, sir.
You usually want to get your forge. If you're racked, you want to get your forge before you start your 4th base. Now, how early you get them? Like, I used to do. Well, I used to be an asshole. I used to go 1 racks into 3rd, and then before any other units, double forge into mass racks. So you can, how late or early you get them matters, but it really depends on the matchup. Like, I don't think that it matters.
Where's my...
Get him! Get him!
Holy!
Get him!
Holy!
Get him!
Good job.
There we go.
You gotta make more use of these 3 raiders, dude. They are slacking on the job. Paycheck stealing.
Also, Holy, when you kill an airship that has stuff in it, you need to realize that you just killed 10 supply for free. You can literally just get another base for free when you do that. Because think about it, that's an airship, that's all the micro potential of the airship, that's the 2 4 supply catapults that are in there. That means that he can't drop them back with his main base, like with his main army, and push you with it. Like, if you, for free, kill an airship with 2 catapults in it, your brain should just say, alright, well, I always wanted to expand for free right now.
I'm not gonna. I think staying on 2 racks on 3 bases is a little greedy.
It is, but you just, again, it's not in a vacuum. You just killed somebody's drop that they were using to restrict your gameplay.
Oh yeah, no, I just meant like as a general overview of this game.
Oh yes. 2 production facilities. Castles are included in that, but you want 2 production facilities for every mining base. And when you stop making workers, that means that you need to have like a barracks or a workshop or something ready to go. So in these split map mech scenarios, there's 2 points that matter more than any other point on Ravaged.
I
I'm
mean,
looking forward to
this one
seeing.
and this one.
Oh, can we all see each other's pings?
Yeah, spectators can see each other's pings.
Yeah. Whoever
draw?
pinged the first 2, you're absolutely right. Now you'll say, but what about that area that was just pinged? To which I say, 2 towers, 2 soldiers, 2 catapults. Laugh at your opponent, right? You don't. Here's the thing: you're not gonna hold everything with 2 soldiers, 2 catapults, and 2 watchtowers, but you will do a surprising amount of damage and delay a surprising amount of forward progress by doing that.
Well, you won't hold dragons with this composition.
I also think you both took the wrong. Since you both. Well, let's see. I'll wait. I don't know what Holy. Can someone who's specking the game show me Holy's vision?
Dude. I guess that.
Okay, so you both took the wrong. Okay, so I can say this now. You both took, in my estimation, the wrong 4th base. If you're building catapults, you can use the catapults to defend other fourth base more easily by putting them in your main. Then they can deny easy high harass by putting your catapults in the high ground of your own main.
God damn it, this is the game of being supply stuck, what the heck.
Also,
look at my gold.
Holy, whenever your opponent does this, they do a run by and you clean it up like this. Let's say that Consciously had started retreating with his units. He has to retreat around the right side of the map and go down. If you just take the same units and move straight down through the middle, just because Consciously can't cheat movement speed, right? You will always get there faster. Oh, well, I guess he can die on tap with airships, but if your opponent is the kind of lad who has airships waiting to intercept in case he has to retreat a harassment path, then I guess your opponent is just really good. But if you then have your own airships, the law swings back into there's nothing they can do about it. You're literally faster.
Do you think Archer? I think Archer Raider can beat Soldier Kata.
I think there's not a snowball's chance in hell that it could.
I think he's
because Raiders don't want to stand and fight soldiers, and archers.
No, you just use the Raiders to snipe the Katas.
Okay, but there's the reason Soldier Kata is more popular right now than Archer Kata for a long time. Is pioneered by a guy named Venny. For a long time, Archer Catapult was very popular. And people realized archers just melt the fireballs. And also, they have to give up the ground if there's too many soldiers. And also, when raiders came in, you can just blink, because the archers, you know, they do DPS and range, but it's not that much, right? You have Shroud, you can stand and deliver. If you try and teleport the raiders onto the catapults, you're basically hoping your opponent fucks up their positioning.
had 4 kills.
I think as long as you have space and APM to spare, I think Archer Raider will do fine, but it's really APM heavy.
We're seeing in this fight one of the great caveats of Raxmech versus Raxmech, which is that whoever full sends the attack should lose. Right? Because you're attacking into a concave. You either have to get a surround, or you have to multi-prong your opponent. But typically you win by just having, like, more bases than your opponent, and they literally can't fight you anymore. The end game of this usually looks like one player just has excess money and 140 supply or so, or 130.
Talking about
supply.
me?
They get a well, I'm not saying who is in what state right now. Neither one of you are in this state, but usually the player who's at like 135 supply gets 3 to 5 mages and uses their excess income to tower the shit out of every choke point and secure their economic advantage until they win the game. Like, the full attack is really hard.
Dude, seeing all these new Rax players makes me want to play Beast, man.
As you wish, sir.
I wanted to play mech, but I found out that at a certain level of play, you just die if you open up one workshop expand.
Oh yeah, and you'll get dropped.
You'll get dropped. Like, you'll get dropped. Or if you don't get dropped, they'll just 2-Rax Vader you. Or if they don't, they'll just 2-Rax Archer you, which is humiliating and happens. Or the Beast player has 10 years worth of stuff that they can do to you. Like, mech's really good as a transition. But I think, while it can work, you're opening yourself up for too much if you just open the workshop. I do think that, I do like mech's style, though.
What was your opinion on all the Wolfgat stuff that was happening during Pro League?
Wolfgat's fucking sick. It's a really good build. I think it's great. I don't think it's a macro opening.
GG.
Like, I've seen.
Yeah, it's like Turbo.
Yeah. Don't Wolfgat because it's just too supply inefficient.